Hello everyone, welcome back to Critical Healing Moment. My name is V, and today we're going to do a self-care with me and chat. Today I will be doing my nails. I had already trimmed them and shaped them, and then I did this hand mask. In today's video, I am going to be talking about relationship anarchy, and it's actually a topic I suggested on my Instagram, so make sure you follow me on there so that you can interact with me more. I don't post that much on Instagram, and I don't have a nice Instagram aesthetic, but I do like it as a way to communicate with people in other ways that are different than what's on my channel. So I like to do little daily updates, and I also post ukulele and piano song covers on there, so if you're into that, go put your records on, tell me your favorite song. Go check out my Instagram. Okay, so today I will be painting my nails this burgundy color to match my sweater and my lipstick for Lunar New Year because red is lucky. Yeah, let's just get into talking about relationship anarchy. I also have some notes up here on my computer on the side so I don't forget anything. So I am a relationship anarchist, and I think that is the only label that really fits how I feel about relationships and orientations and whatnot. For me right now, I don't think a lot of people know about it, so I want to make a video about relationship anarchy. So relationship anarchy it's not really an orientation, it's more of a philosophical approach to understanding relationships based on anarchist principles. And so I want to talk about anarchy first. Anarchy is a political ideology or philosophy that is based on rejecting hierarchies and respecting individual people's autonomy. And this is my definition. I did not look up a political textbook definition of this, so please take it with a grain of salt. Autonomy does not mean getting to do whatever you want. In fact, it's kind of the opposite of that. Autonomy means that there is mutual trust between individuals, groups of people, communities, what have you, and an understanding and respecting of these individuals, groups, communities, needs, expectations, and boundaries. So there is a lot that goes into anarchy because you have to have an element of knowing someone or a group of people well enough to be able to navigate these things where you can choose to do whatever feels good with you, and that doesn't violate the other person's autonomy either. When we kind of put together relationships and anarchy, what this comes to mean is that relationship anarchy is a way of viewing relationships that rejects the normative hierarchies in relationships, and that goes beyond relationships where there are one-on-one relationships where there may be power differentials, like a boss and a worker, or a male and a female, or a husband and a wife, or parent and a child. There are no hierarchies in the individual relationships, and that there are no hierarchies in the types of relationships that you have with people. So one type of relationship isn't better, more important, more valuable than another. A casual relationship can be as important as a very intimate one, or a relationship to someone that you're related to by blood is not more important than someone that you're not related to by blood. And sometimes people mix up relationship anarchy and polyamory, but I believe that relationship anarchy can be practiced no matter your relationship orientation, so whether you're monogamous or whether you are polyamorous or non-monogamous, and also doesn't matter what kind of sexual orientation you have, or if you don't have one at all. So I think relationship anarchy can be practiced by anyone who subscribes to its principles. In Western society, there is a hierarchy of relationships where you are expected to prioritize your one sexual and romantic partner and that they are the same person. So, you're supposed to have just one spouse and that person is of the opposite of your gender, and there's only two genders, and that person is who you revolve around. Everything about your life goes around that person. And so the hierarchy kind of starts there, and it's kind of like a pyramid. So from that, you might have the second level of most important relationships that may include like your nuclear family. So depending on marital status, this might be your children, or if you don't have children, it might be your parents or your siblings. And then from there, it usually kind of goes from like that to extended relatives, and then maybe your friendships, and then other people in your community, and then strangers. So that is what the traditional sort of viewpoint on relationships is in the West. So relationship anarchy looks at this in a different way, and I was inspired to make this video based off of a conversation I was having with a friend explaining what relationship anarchy is. I'm really not good at painting my nails. I'm going way out of the lines. So when I was explaining it to her, I was explaining how there is sort of this pyramid or hierarchy of relationships in our society, and instead I like to view my relationships in what I said in that conversation was silos. But I think that a better way to explain it is actually bubbles or a Venn diagram. You can have different people in different relationship categories, and they all fulfill some need for you or have some value in your life for whatever reason. So for me, my little relationship bubbles, they are Venn diagrams because the bubbles are not mutually exclusive. I think that people can fulfill different needs and belong to different parts of your life, but they're overlapping. And how I can define some of my bubbles, maybe one category being sexual and romantic partners, another one being friends from past experiences that I've had, such as college, or friends from elementary school, or friends from different levels of schooling, or friends from different workplaces. I also have bubbles of people who I live with, have lived with in the past, have shared housing with, people who I organize with, people who I organize with in person or locally, and people who I organize with on a virtual, remote, national level, whatever you want to call it. We don't share physical space with each other often. Let's see, people I like to travel with, people who I go to for emotional support, people who I am related to by blood. There are all sorts of different bubbles, and again, people can be a part of multiple bubbles in my life. So why I consider this relationship anarchy is that there is no one bubble that is more important than the other, meaning that I value the specific roles that different bubbles play in my life, and I don't feel the need to adhere to specific societal expectations about my relationships. This means that my romantic partners may not always be the people that I go to for everything. There are other people in my life that are more equipped to do it because of their experiences and backgrounds and shared experiences together. Something that is, I didn't write this in my notes, but it's something that I think about from time to time being in an interracial relationship, is that there are certain things that a white partner cannot do for me. So I just go to people who actually share my background, and I can talk to them about these things that I'm thinking about. One of the dreams that I would love to have in building a future, and I'm all about future and liberation building. This is sort of a, I guess you could call it like an anchor, what do they call it? An anchor statement or a mantra that I've had for the past year is liberation builder. And I have this dream of being able to build a future where I can live in a community where we're all like committing to building liberation together and taking care of each other, and we share housing somehow. We can, basically have our little self-sustaining economy where we're all fed, housed. We have lots of different activities that we can do together, and we can take care of young people in our community. And that kind of thinking and visioning and dreaming, I think most people reserve just for that one true love or soulmate. But I want to open up the possibilities here for other people to be a part of this dream of mine. So for me, what's most important in my relationships is that we have some common values around these things, because that's who I want to invest my time in building a relationship with, because that is, I guess, a little bit more of a long-term approach to relationship anarchy. It doesn't matter who these people are in terms of whether they're like partners or whether we're friends or we organize together or whatever. I think that it's just important that we have shared values and can support each other in building a society that we want to live in together. And I think where this kind of shows up in my personal life is I have a lot of difficulty like imagining ever moving like outside of the area where I live, because I've lived here for 5 years and I've built a number of relationships over my time here, and I can't imagine going somewhere new where I don't know anyone and I don't have any existing relationships. It's like deciding whether you want to have a long distance relationship with someone who you've committed to spending a lot of time with. I think that's a big factor in if I decide to ever move to another city. Okay, I've applied all of the color, and unfortunately I did quite a messy job. I was also thinking of adding these sparkles. Oh no, I messed them up already. The sparkles will hide it. The sparkles will hide it. So I think I gravitate towards relationship anarchy because of my childhood and upbringing. Yeah. Sparkles. When I was in elementary school, like from ages, like grades like kindergarten to 6th grade, I had a different best friend every year. I do specifically remember this because sometimes my friends would move away. Actually, every year they would like move away or go to a different school, so I never had a consistent best friend. And I know some people have like a childhood best friend that they've spent forever with, even into adulthood. I don't have that experience, but I don't think that I lack anything because I didn't have that experience. I think if anything, it's shown me that I am okay with having relationships being that way, and I'm comfortable with it. And to this day, I still do not have a best friend. Like I said, I have good friends in different bubbles in my life, and like they serve different purposes in my relationships, and they are still important to me, even though I don't consider anyone my best friend, not even my partner. My best friend is my cat. My best friend is non-human. And then, additionally, as I was growing up, the value that I was kind of taught in the culture of my family was that family and the people that you are related to by blood are more important than your friends. And when I was little, I was pretty close to my extended family, especially like my cousins and stuff around my age. We would spend a lot of time together, kind of grown apart as we've gotten older. In terms of my nuclear family, I think I got like mixed messages because of that, because even though that was emphasized, I didn't really feel a strong sense of emotional support from my nuclear family and parents. It was a difficult situation to sort of navigate and understand. And so there were parts of my life, I guess, like when I was younger, where I would feel a lot more lonely because I did not have like strong social relationships, and I also didn't feel like I had like a proper emotional outlet at home either. So as an adult, I think that relationship anarchy is a way for me to sort of reclaim my relationships and define for myself what's important to me. And lastly, I think a part of relationship anarchy to me is that the most important relationship that I have in my life is my relationship to myself. Relationship anarchy is about understanding yourself and your needs and your expectations and what you can do for yourself and what you need other people to fulfill for you, because we are interdependent creatures as humans. We all need other people, and that's something that I'm constantly still working on, because I have been very independent for most of my life, that I don't usually feel the need to be with people. I spend a lot of time by myself, and I'm perfectly okay with that. It's how I'm happiest. I think to be able to practice relationship anarchy, you have to have a certain sense of self-awareness and have done some of that personal work to be able to do it in a way that isn't harmful to other people. Okay, we have applied the sparkles. And now for the top coat. The idea or the theme behind this video was meant to come out for Valentine's Day. We'll see if I can edit it in time for Valentine's Day, but I want to challenge you all to think about your other relationships outside of your significant others during this very commercialized holiday about romance and whatever. Okay, my nails are all done. This is Seche Vite, so it should dry in 2 minutes according to the bottle, but we'll see how long I can sit still. I get bored and I always need to do things with my hands. Thank you for tuning in to this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. We're on our way to 300 subscribers and 700 followers on Instagram, so I'll just remind you again to follow me on there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!